Hello there, everybody. My name might possibly be Bwarch, and we're going to be checking out the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 HD demo today. So this is a fan game, non-official game, made by a group of about 17 to 20 members, I believe I saw on the website. Go ahead and check out... Oh god. Really? Interesting. So Gamepad Support is kind of weird right now. Only the start button on a 360 controller actually goes into any kind of menus. Fairly simple effects for right now. I actually think that I remember that turning heat effects actually crashed the entire thing. I heard like varying reports actually about that. So pretty sparse menu. You can consider this almost a beta. I don't know how much like game options will change by the end of development. For now, they have, I think, 1, 2, 3 zones actually released for now. As far as I know, this is running on its own custom engine. Let's go ahead and go into it. Oh, I am way too tempted to actually just beat Tails. I'm gonna be Tails, guys. I'm a big Tails fan, I'm sorry. Like, I was just considering it because people might like be like, oh, but if you watch like a demo for like Sonic 2, you want to see Sonic, right? And I'm like, no, I'm here for my buddy Tails. So it's amazing, it's wonderful. You're seeing it right before your eyes. I'm actually getting a little bit of teeny tiny bits of lag on my end. Any amount of that is due to my own system, and not really something due to the game itself. I've got a slightly old graphics card at this point. Slightly. Some people would consider it actually really good. Those people would be wrong, but... Anyway... Oh god, there's a little bit of stuttering there. I'm gonna have to hope that I can upgrade sometime soon. But yeah, so Sega has not thrown a cease and desist on this, has no intention as far as we know of ever throwing a cease and desist on any video game. Good job, Sega. At least in terms of Sonic. Sonic actually receives, like, the blessing as far as, like, Sega is concerned, and the fans have a blank check, you could say, to make whatever fan games and ROM hacks they want to as long as no money is being made. And obviously we have a Sonic Mania, which came out, which was a very, very fan-grown kind of effort, as it were. So let me talk about like the an executive's nightmare for a second. I would love to see this, as well as the Christian Whitehead Sonic 2 port that is available only on iOS and Android right now, for God knows what reason. And the original Sonic 2, unfortunately, because, I mean, like, that's already there. All three of those ports and recreations and whatnot, and remasters, on Steam. That is an executive's nightmare. That is the management's nightmare. Because right now, they only have an emulated version of Sonic 2 available on the Sega Master Collection, whatever you want to call it, that's on Steam right now. And that's the only thing. There's actually an improved version of Sonic 2 that is available on Android and iOS. You can look into it. Christian Whitehead, our old friend, was a part of that. Along with Stealth, I believe. I think they both worked on the Sonic 2 port for Android and iOS. And there's a couple of things that were great about that you won't see in this, actually. Maybe the developers behind Sonic 2 HD might consider adding in that. Interesting little transition there. What they might want to consider trying to do, like, I always wonder, like, transitions are always a thing for Sonic 2. By the way, this is beautiful. Like, I don't even think I have to talk about just how wonderful all the graphics look and how wonderful everything looks. Because as it stands, like, you have a few different ways of doing things, right? When it comes to remasters and remakes and ports and whatnot. This might be my favorite way that we've ever seen of getting these old games ported over to a new art style. I despise the Sonic 4 way of doing it, with, like, ugly 3D models that are completely stylistically, like, not a part of Sonic. Like, this style actually, I think they took a lot of obviously, they took a lot of inspiration from the official artwork for Sonic 2, from the manuals and whatnot. Oh, you can't fly. Oh, you can't fly as Tails, because Tails couldn't fly in the original Sonic 2, and that's what they're going for. Gosh dang it, guys. Fine. So really, Tails is just a palette swap then, for this. I wonder if they have two-player compatibility in this already, in the demo. I haven't actually tested that or looked into that. Because if so, my friend Anna might actually want to check this out. And that would be fun to do two-player, although two-player with Sonic games has never been great. There's never been a great implementation of it, unfortunately. Like, you either have the camera centered on player one, or you have a really, really terrible-looking split screen going on. Like, someday somebody will come up with a way to actually have two-player Sonic games that actually are fun for, like, both players, and not, like, little brother two-player modes. Music is wonderfully remixed, wonderful sounding. I think that things are a little bit too bricked as far as just how loud everything is on the default audio settings when you first start up this game. It's gonna sound fine to you guys, because I'm gonna be messing around with stuff in post, obviously, but very, very loud game. Very, very loud game. Very, very loud music on just general startup. And I think we saw in the audio menu that it's not as even as loud as it can possibly be. But yeah, the background of Chemical Plant Zone looks amazing. It is kind of funny just how much, like, the fans, and indeed the company itself, is enamored with going back to the old games. Because, I mean, like, when you think about it, we've got this, we've got the Sonic 2 port on Android and iOS, remastered port. We've got the original, and we've also got the zones that were from Sonic 2 that showed up in Sonic Mania. I think sometime us fans and the company itself will have to move past the nostalgia a little bit. It is fun to go back to Sonic 2 in this form. Let it be said. It's just that I do think that we're saturating the experience a little bit too much. Which, of course, this after I just said that I would like to see all three versions of Sonic 2 on Steam, but come on! Imagine just buying this for, like, what, like $5 or $10, whatever you want to put it at. Sega officially publishes this. And as well, if you don't like this, because some people don't like the art style for whatever reason, you awful, awful people, you can also buy the Christian Whitehead and Stealth port that would also be on Steam. Hopefully, you know, I'm rooting for that port to show up sometime, because I mean, like, it's on Android and iOS. Platformers don't deserve to be only on Android and iOS. Let me tell you that much. Let me just put that opinion out there. As for physics, as for how the game moves, I think should be pretty obvious to everybody that it works wonderfully. It's only really the sorry. It's only really the technical details that they would need to work on. Oh no. Was that always there? Somehow I think that saved me and that wasn't always there. But thank you very much for that. That was very appreciated. I think that saved me too. I remember there not being another side over here. Maybe that's wrong. You know, maybe my memory is just off. God damn it, Eggman. How could you do this to me? How dare you? Giant talking egg. I'm a fox! I eat eggs for breakfast. But yeah, it really just fucking goddamn it. I always hated this boss. But it just matters about the specific details about how the tech goes, you know? Gamepad support. how the engine works with all kinds of graphics cards of all kinds. As a demo, as a beta look at things, this is amazing. There's really, well, I wouldn't say no better way. Well, I almost would go there. I really, really like this art style. So if this was the full game, then you could almost say that this is the best way to experience Sonic 2. It's widescreen. The interesting thing is that the Android and iOS ports for Sonic 2 are also widescreen. They were widened from the original 4:3 aspect ratio of the original game. And now we get what I've been looking forward to this entire time. This is my favorite level in Sonic 2. Y'all can have your chump levels. Like Green Hill Zone, Emerald Hill Zone, I believe it actually is. I always get them confused. Don't judge me, it's dumb. Don't even act like it is not confusing that one is Green Hill Zone and one's Emerald Hill Zone. It's confusing no matter what, considering that they have such similar aesthetics. But yeah, some people like some other levels in Sonic 2. Some people are like, Chemical Plant Zone is the best. Me? No, I'm a true warrior. I love Hilltop Zone. This is such a fun level in every way. Everything just feels alive. Everything feels as if fun was focused on. From like the seesaws to the bounciness to the music. Oh, the music in this level. It's to die for. And they have given it a lovely little jazz do-over for this remake. For this fan game. That was a very, very long drop, Mr. Torpedo Guy. I don't even know what I would call you. A hothead, maybe? And I don't care about what the official name is. So many games have, like, official names for minions, but you never really see them. Like, at least for Mario World, you had a credits scene at the very end of the game that told you what all the creatures were. Even that's not exactly perfect. I don't even know how it is that we've all learned, like, the Mario enemies to a T. As far as, like, their names and whatnot go. There's gotta be some reason why those were memorable, but nothing else is. Like, I started a game like Owlboy, and they've got all these names for the minions, and I just completely am not interested in learning them. It's just too much. I'll learn boss names, possibly, but minion names? It's just a little bit too much for my brain, man. You can find the link in the description to the official website for any updates and whatnot, and also to download this demo yourself. As stated before, it's a 3-level demo. We have Chemical Plant Zone, Emerald Hill Zone, and Hilltop Zone. Music changed. Nice. I might just be forgetting with the original that the music changed track 2, which probably did, and I'm just forgetting. You might know this if you stick around long enough, but it is certainly not... My memory is not the best. It is, in fact, one of the worst in the business. Just taking a look at, like, the backgrounds and whatnot, you know? Just kind of, like, being chill for a second. Doink. Just taking it all in. It actually does look very strange, like the actual animate, oh, hey. Oh, dude! That's a nice little touch. They actually have the lighting change, depending on how close you are to the lava. Well done. That was not done in the original. That's a nice little new touch. Oh, I love Tails' run animation. It looks so cute. I'm just dying over here. This is just great. There's nothing really to be sad about when it comes to this remake. Everything just works exactly as how you would expect. Everything is recreated in exquisite detail. And the physics are just perfect. Probably a little bit better than the original game, honestly. Like, so many game developers that Sega hires have an issue with getting the physics actually spot on. Like I said, with Sonic 4, which I fucking hate, and the physics in that were awful, and the controls felt awful. Everything just felt wrong. This feels right, and I think that it's easy to say that it's easy to get right, but it's not. It is a task to get the momentum right for a Sonic game, because if it's off, like, at all, us fans that have been playing for years will notice. So our fan game developers here definitely deserve every bit of praise that they get for getting things so spot on for a custom game that has, like, not any of the original coding or even the ability to look at the original coding. I think they changed that to where the knockback from hitting the boss was a lot less, because I think I remember that, like, it was actually very hard to do that juggling in the original. And this actually gave me a bit of a pain the last time that I played Sonic 2 in, like, a race that never got uploaded. So really, anything that they've changed, it feels less like doing it wrong and more like it's a quality of life upgrade. So yeah, once again, at the end here, this has been a lovely little go-through of this. I have no criticism. None. This team has done amazingly. Every single member has been on the ball. It's interesting that they have so many programmers. I think I counted 4 programmers there. So that might be why they've gotten everything working, like, so amazingly. And a lot of them, this is not any kind of paid effort. All of these people are doing this pro bono. One musician, Tony Lays. Excellent, excellent job to the developers here. Ooh, little after credit scene. This is a wonderful, wonderful recreation, and I'm looking forward to seeing when and if the full game comes out. If you want to play the demo yourself, link in the description. Give some feedback to the developers if you like. They are on Twitter and Tumblr and all that stuff, so you can follow them so you don't forget that this exists when it finally comes out. And yeah, it's wonderful. Well, okay, so one thing, obviously, I mean, like, this is not... I can understand why they didn't focus on this, because it's not exactly going to be an issue for most people that are just playing with, like, the normal Xbox One or Xbox 360 controller, which this probably has, like, the inbuilt driver for, obviously, X input. But I would like to see rebindable keys, rebindable controls, but that might just be something that they just did not include in the demo, but they totally plan to add it in the final edition. So I would hope that rebindable controls would be focused on by the time this came out. But for a fan game demo, totally fine just to have, like, very basic controller support. Break out your 360 controller and have a fun time. Anyway, I've talked long enough, everybody. I've enjoyed this, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you next video.